everyone, welcome to Arts and Psychology. I hope you're all doing well in this fine day. Today we're actually having our first guest, and his name is Alejandro Marquez, a Puerto Rican actor and singer. I've actually had the opportunity to work with this fine gentleman in The Phantom of the Opera, where he actually played the role of the Phantom.
I'm doing great. I'm ready to do this. Oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And I'm glad to be your first guest in this wonderful new project that you have that is going to bring a lot of smiles to everyone who needs this initiative.
Thank you, thank you. I wanted to ask you, what have you been doing this quarantine?
Whoa, I've been doing so many things. Writing my thesis, it's already completed.
That's
Doing my
great.
final presentations for my master's in vocal performance. Taking a lot of singing lessons, recording my recital. I've been 100% busy. So, and other than that, when I'm not doing college work, I'm either playing PlayStation 4, watching Netflix, Disney Plus, and drawing. Painting, drawing, which is a huge therapy for me.
That is great. I wanted to ask you, is there any hobbies that you've been able to take back since this quarantine started?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I've been able to watch movies I've never seen before. I've been able to watch series I've never seen before. And when I was in school back in New York City at Brooklyn College, I wasn't able to draw a lot. And now I'm back at it. I'm drawing every single day. And I was out of practice. And I've been able to take drawing back in action.
You've told me that you're working on a digital a drawings that you're going to be doing with somebody else in a future project. How is that going?
Oh, everything is going great. And yes, it's a project that my dear friend Edgar Alexander, which everybody calls him Eggy Alexander. He's writing a story, a wonderful story that is very anime-like and very action-packed. So I'm the one that is designing his characters. I'm the character designer for his story, and it's going fabulous. It's been my therapy. It's been our therapy during this quarantine, and it's going fantastic. And we've been having a lot of fun with it.
That is really cool. When you grew up and you decided to be an artist yourself, was that completely you, or that your parents had like a little bit to do with that decision?
Whoa, let me tell you something. Ever since I was 6 years old, I knew I wanted to become an actor, singer. I remember my mother. My mother used to be a teacher at the Perpetuo Socorro Academy in Miramar. And she did this wonderful, amazing show. It was a showcase about musical theater, about Broadway. And it included songs from Les Miserables, Phantom of the Opera, Cabaret, you name it. And I remember watching the rehearsals and watching the performance itself. It had an impact unlike any other. I saw that show and I saw all of the respect that my mother had at the school. And when I saw the show, I was like, this is what I want to do for a living. I want to act. I want to sing. And I remember when the show was over, I went to my mom and I said, "Hey, mom, when I grow up, I want to be the guy with the mask. What's his name? Oh no, his name is just the Phantom. Oh, the Phantom of the Opera. Yes, when I grow up, I don't know, like I want to be that guy."
So that's how it started, like your dream to become the Phantom of the Opera, which it
Yes.
actually became a reality here in Puerto Rico, right?
It became a total reality, and I'm getting a little bit teary, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine because it's a dream I've had ever since the mid '90s. The mid '90s, I grew up with the music of Phantom, the music of Les Miserables, and Broadway in general, and I've been obsessed with the Phantom of the Opera ever since the mid '90s, and it became a reality here in Puerto Rico. I remember when the auditions were announced, I was like praying every single day. And I usually a lot of people don't know this. I didn't want to audition. I did for some strange reason. I said, maybe it's not the right time. I'll do it later, whatever. I don't know. And it was Alejandro. Like I remember somebody telling me like, Come on, why are you in hell? Are you telling me that you're not going to audition? Just go and forget about it. Just go and forget about it. You know what? You're perfectly right. I went in. I took a deep breath. I am the Phantom. I am the Phantom. The Phantom is for me, and it happened.
So how was that process of audition to become the Phantom?
First about the audition, I instantly called my mother and I said, Mom, they're going to be doing the Phantom of the Opera here in Puerto Rico. They're holding auditions. And we instantly went through a lot of the songs that could match the character of the Phantom, because that was the one that I was auditioning, but that was going to be the one that I wanted, the character. So I remember taking singing lessons every single day with my mother. Okay, this one is best. Which song is the most appropriate for this audition? And then we came to the conclusion that I was gonna sing "I Am I, Don Quixote" from Man of La Mancha, the Broadway musical. And when I got into the audition, we had to do everything. We had to do a little bit of a dance sequence. We had to do acting, a whole scene from the musical, completely spoken, and then singing at the very end of the audition. And I sang "I Am I, Don Quixote," and I felt like the Phantom. The Phantom took over me, and after I sang, I knew I have a really, really good feeling about this. And I remember when I received the email that you've been chosen for the Phantom of the Opera, but they didn't tell us which role we had. So we had to go to the Santa Bernardita Church, and I went to the Santa Bernardita Church, and they were announcing the whole cast, and obviously the Phantom was going to be left for the very end because it's the main character.
Of
And
course.
okay, and last but not least, when Padre Willie announces the Phantom of the Opera, Alejandro Marquez, and I, in front of everyone, but it was such an amazing moment because I fell on the floor. I fell, and my best friends who were next to me, who were sitting right next to me, they started crying. And that's when you know that you have true friends. They had like red eyes and everything. They were like crying because it's a role that I wanted ever since I was a child, and they knew that. And not, I wasn't the only one crying. My best friends were also crying.
That's such a beautiful story. What is like one of the most difficult things that you had to go through throughout becoming the Phantom?
Okay, one of the most difficult things I had to go through was the fact that, okay, the Phantom of the Opera is a character that is going through an intense, horrible situation of unrequited love. And the thing is, not only he's going through unrequited love. He is a man who hasn't had any love. Not even his mother loved him. His mother, ever since his mother saw that he was deformed, he, very, very massively deformed. She basically told him, "Get out of here, put on this mask, and go away. I don't like you." So he's a guy that has had 0% of love in his life, and a lot of people see the Phantom as a villain, and technically he is not. Especially when you're an actor, you shouldn't judge your characters, because this is a man who is looking for love. He wants to be loved, and he's in love with this beautiful singer named Christine Daae. But that's more of the character. The thing is, the most difficult thing was um, separating Alejandro Marquez from the Phantom, and because every time I would go to rehearsal, and the Phantom would be in a really emotional scene with Christine because he's jealous and everything. I would remember my own experiences with women, and with my own experiences with women that I loved and that didn't work out, and I would see those in the show. So it was very, but my training, I thank God that I'm a trained actor. You are the character, you separate that from your own personality, and you do your work. But it didn't have an emotional toll on me because I was so happy. There was never a day that I was like, oh, I don't want to rehearse today. No, because work was being the Phantom of the Opera. Oh, I don't want to go to rehearsal. No, that never ever happened. I was the happiest man alive. But I truly think the most difficult part of the Phantom not only the acting, the dramatic part of the character is the vocal range. The
Okay.
vocal range. It's a phantom. It's a character that has such a immense vocal singing range. You have to go really low, and then all of a sudden you have to go boom really high. You have to go so high and so low through Act One and Act Two. So it was a lot of training with my dear mother every single day. Okay, Alejandro, she would tell me what passages are difficult. Okay, let's go through this passage, and she would help me. But it was basically the vocal range.
Okay, did you have anything at the end of the show? Did you have any trouble with like saying goodbye to the Phantom and becoming Alejandro again, or it was totally normal for you?
It was not normal for me. It was totally not normal for me. And I remember when we were at the goodbye party at Santa Bernardita, everyone was like really emotional. A lot of people were crying because it was such a euphoric, monumental, positive experience, not just for me, for everyone. I saw a lot of people crying at the goodbye party, the farewell party, and so it wasn't very normal, unfortunately. And it was like a drug. I wanted to still play him. I still wanted to sing his songs and this wonderful Andrew Lloyd Webber repertoire. But as days went by, it vanished, and I became Alejandro again, the actor, looking for other fantastic opportunities. But in the beginning, it was hard.
When you started acting, did you had any trouble with mental health? Maybe bullying? Did you had problems with your self-image or other things?
I absolutely say yes. I say yes. When I was studying at the Academy of Perpetuo Socorro, um, it was not. I never had a weight issue. I never had like an image issue. But what I my biggest problem was my personality. My personality was my biggest problem because the thing is, I would like things that people weren't into. Oh, you like this? No, you should like this. Oh, because I was raised in a very formal, very serious environment, which was opera. Because my mother, Hilda Ramos, my mother is one of the greatest sopranos ever to live here in Puerto Rico. She's one of the most celebrated sopranos in the opera scene here, and not just in opera, as a singer in general, but mostly she is known for opera, and then she became the judge for the famous competition of Divo Fama. But the thing is, since I was raised in such a serious environment, my personality was very formal, and people wouldn't understand, and they would start ganging up on me and bullying me to a very severe point. I'm not afraid to say it. It was a very severe point, but my parents were so responsible. They're the best parents in the world that they immediately contacted psychologists, and I started getting help from a very early age. If I didn't get professional help at a very early age, I would be in a very different place because the bullying was very severe. It was not because of weight. It was not because of an image issue. It was more because of personality. And I was like, how do I deal with this? So I've been with psychologists ever since I was a little child, a little kid. And listen, if there is someone that has bullying experience, it's me. I've been bullied from kindergarten to 12th grade. And I am not, it was hard. Obviously, hello, 13 years. But at the same time, I am grateful for it. Why? Why I am grateful? Because I have a really, really, really tough skin right now. And that prepared me how to deal with bullies after 12th grade on the streets, and that helped me to defend my friends from bullies. So I I am grateful for it that I've been bullied ever since from kindergarten to 12th grade.
I understand that when you are bullied, at the moment it seems very awful, but then when you grow up, you understand a lot of things, and if you didn't go through those things, you wouldn't be the person you are today. I'm not
Absolutely.
saying that bullying it's okay. I'm just saying that people that go through it and actually become better at the end, they actually become the person they are because of that experience. And I believe that's beautiful in a way.
It is. It is. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only man. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of men out there and a lot of women out there that have been through the same or even worse situations than me. So it is always a beautiful thing.
Did art help you go through that stage of, bullying from when you were in high school to this men in college? Did arts play a part in that?
They absolutely did. Yes. This is a very beautiful story that I'm about to tell you. When I was in 10th grade, things were getting a little bit better with the bullying. When I was in 10th grade, I was studying at the Free School of Music, which in Spanish is La Libre de Música, and in English would be the Free School of Music at the town of Atorrey. And in 10th grade, things were going a little bit better. And I signed up for theater class. And for some wonderful reason, theater class when I was in 10th grade was going to be concentrated in musical theater. Imagine how happy I felt that we were going to be doing a musical theater showcase. Guess what role they gave me? The Phantom, and I was
Of
15
course.
years. I was 15. I was 15 years old, and we did this amazing showcase. It was called I Love Musicals. We did scenes from Chicago, Phantom of the Opera, and Moulin Rouge. I was the Phantom, and the thing is, the Joel Schumacher movie from 2004. Um, my classmates were studying the film for English class. So it was perfect timing because we were doing this showcase and it included phantom scenes and I was the phantoms and people knew the story. So when I played the Phantom for the very first time, me being a teenager, only 15 years old, the bullying stopped for good. 10th grade, people respected me. The really bad bullies, they looked up to me and they were like, oh, that was an awesome performance, Alejandro. Oh my God, your acting was so great and everything. You should be an actor. No, yeah, I want to. So I finally could walk without fear at the Free School of Music. I finally could walk in peace and say hello to everyone without, without fear of being bullied. So arts saved me.
That is a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. What is, other than the Phantom of the Opera, which you already played, what is another role that you're intrigued to be playing next?
Oh, a role that I'm intrigued to be playing next. I have a few, but I'm going to concentrate just on one.
Okay.
I have a few. I want to play Sweeney Todd.
Okay.
Everybody, and not just me, everybody in Puerto Rico and in a few other countries, they really want me to play Sweeney Todd, and Sweeney Todd has never been done in Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
And the thing is, it's perfect for my voice. It's a role for a bass baritone. It's this vengeful demon barber that slits the throats of customers, and then his partner in crime, Mrs. Lovett, transforms them into meat pies. It's a very gory story, but the thing is, it's a wonderful show filled with beautiful melodies. It's a very violent show, but it's one of the best bass baritone roles in musical theater. Sweeney Todd was tailor made for an actor like me with a bass baritone voice and someone like me who loves musical theater so much. It is the a perfect role for a leading man. And the wonderful thing about Sweeney Todd is that even though he is demonic and he is a murderer, a psychopath, he it's very, very, very justified. He is not like that just because yes, he likes to kill people. his wife, he was, uh, he got fabricated a case, and the Judge Turpin took away his wife, and Judge Turpin took away his daughter, and the judge raped his wife, and then when he comes back to London, he learns that, and basically all of the charges he had were fake. It was a trumped up charge, and so he became a monster. Really in a really understandable position. So that's why I love him so much.
With what other character would you say that you have an emotional bond with?
Emotional bond with. There's a character that I played.
That you've played or that you would love to play?
I think the emotional bond will always be with the Phantom. It's incredible. The Phantom is the one that I always have an emotional bond because, I think the Phantom, I think about Alejandro, I think about myself,
Okay.
raised in an opera house, just like me. I was raised with opera and theater, and just like him, he's a complete artist. He's a magician. He's a composer. He's a singer. He is a complete artist, an architect. So, ever since I was a child, I was raised in theaters, going to rehearsals with my mother, theaters all over Puerto Rico. So that's the emotional bond that I will always have, and, you know, he's romantic and passionate, and he doesn't want to be evil. He doesn't want to kill people. He just wants to be loved. And so the Phantom will always be the character that I will always have the biggest emotional bond with.
What is the biggest emotional battle that you've gone throughout your whole career as an artist?
My first and probably the biggest emotional battle I've had with this career, I think, was basically the industry, the Puerto Rican acting industry itself. I remember when I started going through a lot of emotional turmoil and a lot of depression because I wasn't booking any work and I wasn't booking any opportunities and I would see the same faces over and over again in movies, in theater, and on TV. And I'm like, how am I supposed to work? Because everyone is having um, the same opportunities. It's the same people over and over and over again. And it was a very difficult time. It was very, very difficult. And I thank my doctor, my psychologist, Dr. Ingrid Marine. God bless you wherever you are right now during this quarantine. And Dr. Ingrid Marine has been one of my top heroines. He is a wonderful psychologist, and I don't know where I would have been without her. So that's when I had to had the famous day jobs. I worked as a Claro salesman, selling cell phones, selling internet, selling TV. And then after Claro, I started working at Macy's as a merchandising clerk. I would prepare the merchandise and I would make it look really pretty so it could be sold. So, but then again, when I started earning money and when I started working is a therapy. You're earning money, you're starting to buy things for yourself, you're starting to pay your own bills, and the emotional turmoil of not being able to work as an actor started to go away. And this has a happy ending. After working at Macy's, I get this opportunity of going to a musical theater and opera workshop in Norway. In Norway, a country that I thought I would never ever visit in my life. So not only did I went to Norway for this musical theater and opera workshop, I also did a concert before that workshop. I did a private concert in Mexico, Guadalajara, another country I never ever thought I would go. And Mexico is so beautiful. It was such a magnificent experience when I went to Guadalajara, and that was in June 2017. Then in July 2017, I go to Norway. So I was traveling, singing, after so much emotional turmoil and depression. It had such a wonderful ending. And I did this wonderful Stephen Sondheim musical called A Little Night Music, which was the final presentation at the Norway Opera Musical Theater Workshop. And I was the lead character. I was the lead character. I was the character of Frederick Egerman, and it was amazing. Such a happy, wonderful experience, and something even better. And this is where I am. That after the workshop, I get accepted as a master's student at Brooklyn College. Depression officially over. Happy ending. And I'm still standing. In the words of Elton John, I'm still standing.
Where do you see yourself in a few years?
I see myself in a few years in New York City working as a professionally as an artist in an acting studio, perfecting my acting technique with a good acting coach, lots of acting coaches. I see myself hustling and working as an independent adult in the big city.
What is that thing that you would say to rising artists? What is that advice you would give to rising artists?
In the performing arts, people who are listening to me right now, there is something that every single artist goes through. It is something that is very stressful, and it's something that can have an emotional toll with you, and it is competition. You audition, and you get more no's than yeses. You're gonna get compared to other people, and you're gonna get, you're gonna say, oh, this person is better than you, or whatever, people who just wanna mess with you. But I'm gonna tell you something right now for anyone who's listening to this. Look into the mirror, in the words of Sylvester Stallone in the movie Creed. Look in the mirror, that's gonna be your biggest competition. That's your biggest opponent. Your biggest opponent is yourself, not Mario, not Christina. No, your biggest competition is yourself. So if you compare yourself to other people, you're doing severe damage to yourself. You can't compare yourself to other people because your talent and your gift is yours, and nobody can have your talent or your gift. You have something that other people can deliver to the table. So concentrate on yourself and never, ever compare yourself to anybody. Morgan Freeman had his first leading role in a movie at 52 years old. So if you see people and you listen to people who are telling you, oh, you're kind of, oh, I don't know, you're kind of old. I mean, maybe you should start thinking about another career because, this is better if you're younger. Shut your ears, ignore that person, and try looking for examples of people who made it a little bit later, and they became really, really highly respected artists. Alan Rickman has had his first leading role at 47 years old, and he was Professor Snape. May he rest in peace. And so you are never, ever, ever late. You will always be in time. Don't let anybody tell you should be married at this age, you should work at this age, you should get a job at this age. Your time and your life is yours. It's not their lives. It's not their life. It's your life. Focus on yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror, and that will always be your biggest competition. It's never going to be somebody else. God bless you all.
Well, Ale, is there anything else that you would like to say to young artists?
Young artists that are listening to me, this can be done. Yes, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to tell you, nah, it doesn't pay very well. No, there's going to be a lot of financial troubles because it's not a stable job and everything. Pursue this for the right reasons. Ask yourself this. You want to be an actor. You want to be a singer. You know you have what it takes. This is your dream. Okay, if that's what you want to do, I fully support you. Ask yourself this question. After 20 years, after maybe 25 years of pursuing this, of acting and everything, you never get an Oscar. You never get your name on a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Would you still be happy acting? Would you still be happy that you're pursuing this? If the answer is yes, then by all means continue. If the answer is no, you might want to think about something else.
Thank you for saying yes to this project. Thank you for being here and sharing your story with us. It means the world to us that you're here and that obviously you're our first guest. So thank you very much.
The pleasure is all mine. Tiffany, I want to congratulate you for this wonderful initiative that I know is going to bring so many smiles to people that are in need of this type of activity, this type of podcast. This is going to be, and I declare this, a monumental success.
Thank you. That means a lot, honestly. Thank you. Thank you very much.